The immense level of support from the fans is what makes them the 12th player of their team. Sometimes, though, the fans' passion makes them go out of hand and become an actual problem for the players. So today we would like to show you some examples of the most outrageous behavior we have ever seen from the football fans. But before we get into it, we would like you to answer our today's question. Which club's fans' violent behavior once got all the English clubs banned from European tournaments for 5 years? Manchester United, Liverpool, Leeds United, Aston Villa. Please leave your answers in the comments. And now get ready for watching. Let's go. The Arsenal winger Robert Pires once lost his temper in an away derby game against Tottenham. The Spurs fan threw the ball at the Frenchman and Robert got mad and pretended he was about to throw it back in his face. The referee decided not to punish the player but rather calm him down so that he won't pay attention to the fans' provocation. But Pires had already had enough at that point, and his exchange of insults with the Spurs fan continued for a while longer. As for this Birmingham fans surely went too far. He invaded the pitch, came up to the Aston Villa midfielder Jack Grealish and knocked him out from the back. The stewards had to intervene. The fan got caught and taken away, but he actually looked happy with himself. Look at him cheering and blowing kisses. However, Grealish soon took his revenge as his goal erased the smile off the Birmingham fans' faces. Now to the time when the fans got really savage. Hamburg played Borussia Mönchengladbach on the final Bundesliga match day, and it was the day when the Dinosaurs got relegated for the first time in their history despite winning their match. Though it looked like an ordinary game at first, the Hamburg fans, frustrated with the outcome, started throwing flares on the pitch. Soon it all looked more like a pyro show as hundreds of policemen and stewards rushed to the stands and formed a wall while the match official Felix Brych was explaining something to them. At that moment, more policemen showed up with dogs and on horses. In the end, they managed to call the fans to order, and the Hamburg footballers gave them a round of applause for their support despite a disaster of a season. The rivalry between Real Madrid and Barcelona has always been among the most heated rivalries in football, and this reaction of the Blaugrana supporters to Cristiano Ronaldo's goal speaks louder than any words. When Cristiano approached the corner flag for his trademark celebration, the fans on the nearest stand went wild. While this kid only showed the middle finger to the Portuguese, this fan actually tried to spit on him, while this woman seemed to go absolutely mental. Now to Lionel Messi's story, which was actually a funny one. It was a Champions League group stage, and Barcelona was playing Panathinaikos. The Panathinaikos fan invaded the pitch, stood right in front of Messi and showed him a middle finger with a happy smile on his face. His moment of fame, however, didn't last long, as a moment later he was taken away from the pitch by the stewards. Erling Haaland has a story to remember too. While at Borussia Dortmund, he found the net against Wolfsburg and went for a really unusual goal celebration. Erling came up to the stand, got down on one knee and pointed at the woman sitting in front of him. The lady, however, didn't fancy the Norwegian celebration and responded with an indecent gesture. Derby di Milano, AC Milan vs Inter, is one of the most iconic derbies in Italy. The legendary Rossoneri goalkeeper Dida once became a victim of the Inter fans. First he saw a couple of flares right in front of him and then got hit in the hand by another flare. Luckily, the Brazilian didn't get hurt, though he needed his teammates' help to get up and come to his senses. This incident, which took place in a Ligue 1 Brest-Montpellier game, was really one of a kind. When the Montpellier player was preparing to take a penalty, two Brest fans tried to distract him with their naked buttocks. Unfortunately for them, it wasn't enough to confuse the taker, as he kept his composure and sent the ball straight into the top corner. The Brazilian Dani Alves once managed to turn an actual racial insult to his favor. Back in 2014, Barcelona played Villarreal, and one of the Yellow Submarine fans threw a banana at the Brazilian while he was preparing to take a corner. But instead of making a story out of it, Dani Alves picked up the banana, took a bite of it, and then took the corner as if nothing had happened. This fan had his moment of fame during the Euro 2004 final, as he invaded the pitch and fulfilled any Barca fan's dream. He ran towards the Portugal captain Luis Figo with a Barcelona flag in his hand and then threw it right in his face, as he surely hadn't forgiven Figo for his scandalous move from Barcelona to Real Madrid. It wasn't over yet though, as the fan kept on with his run, ran into the net and only then allowed the stewards to catch him. Neymar's playstyle has made many football fans hate him. Just think of all the times the Brazilian fell on the pitch rolling in agony. However, Neymar once managed to give a proper response to his haters. PSG played Nîmes away and Neymar found the net after Muniz crossed. To celebrate his goal, the Brazilian ran towards the Nîmes fan stand and stopped in front of the poster that said "Neymar is a crybaby," mocking the fans with his gestures. As for the Spartak Moscow fan, he seemed to have no trust in Alex at all, so he decided to take a penalty against Saturn Ramenskoe himself. We have to admit he made it, as the goalkeeper Antonin Kinski was caught completely off guard by his sudden shot, though his goal, as you would expect, didn't stand. In 2019, Manchester United faced their rivals Man City, and Fred was heading to the corner flag. At that moment, the City fans started shouting something to him, and then the Brazilian got hit by some object. The City players called their fans to order and managed to calm the situation. However, after the game, proceedings took place. As we can see on the replay, one of the Manchester City fans was making monkey gestures and noises, which is considered a serious violation in England. Fred's offender was immediately identified and arrested right after the game. Bayer Leverkusen played Juventus in a Champions League group stage, and one of the German fans wanted to take a picture with Cristiano Ronaldo so much that he approached him from behind and grabbed his shoulder. The Portuguese wasn't happy with that, as he took a swing at the intruder. At that moment, however, he was already in the hands of stewards and wasn't a threat to Cristiano's personal space anymore. A fan broke into the pitch in the Scottish Premier League game. His side Hibernian played Rangers and was losing 1-0. This guy couldn't stand it anymore, so he came up to the Rangers defender James Tavernier and started causing trouble. He kicked the ball away from him, and Tavernier, as you would expect, wasn't pleased with the fan's behavior. He got really angry and was about to start a fight. At that moment, the guy in black backed off a bit and then tried to punch Tavernier in the face, but barely touched the player's cheek. A moment later, the stewards showed up to resolve the conflict. They took the intruder away and he left the pitch like a true hero. Now to yet another North London derby. The Gunners fans suddenly threw a plastic bottle of water at the Spurs midfielder Dele Alli. Once the Englishman got hit, he got scared for a moment and started complaining to the referee. However, the Arsenal defender Socrates was there to settle the conflict. This famous pitch invasion took place in the 2019 Champions League final. Liverpool played Tottenham, and a half-naked woman broke into the pitch in the first half. She ran across the pitch and reached the center circle before she stopped and allowed the stewards to take her away. This West Ham fan seemed to be too bored with the derby game against Tottenham, so he decided to run across the whole pitch and take a free kick against his team. Surprisingly, he managed to send the ball above the wall, but his shot didn't really trouble the goalkeeper. As we can see, some fans are just too passionate to sit and watch their team play, as football is definitely much more than just a game for their kind. Dear friends, feel free to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button if you enjoyed our video, as that will help its promotion and allow you to get a notification once our new video is out. That's it for today, but there's a bunch of other videos we have on our channel, so don't hesitate to check them out.